Welcome to Save British Farming. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and comment below. It's clear that all polling shows that most British people are concerned with the cost of living, and the cost of living is actually felt the most in our food. It's a commodity we have to buy. We have no choice. We have to buy food, and it's food which is suffering the most right now because of Brexit and climate change. If you look behind me here, you will see maize, which we have been unable to harvest this year because of climate change, because of the rain. And across the country, there have been problems with flooding and weather in Britain. But also earlier in the summer in Europe, they had extreme temperatures, which again has caused problems with food. And this is another reason why we need to accept that we're stronger in the European Union, because one small island with a large population needs to be sure that it's got good access to food. But what we've done with Brexit is we have put trade barriers up for us, which is destroying our ability to produce food, especially because of some bad government decisions on policy, thinking that we'd be able to import it all from the other side of the world. But equally, those trade barriers will have to come in for European imports, and that will only push up prices more and cause more food shortages. The only way to really alleviate the cost of living is to get back in the single market and the customs union. Watch this recent report from ITV to see what farmers are experiencing thanks to the weather, climate change.
There have been warnings that our Christmas roast potatoes could be at risk because of the recent storms. Farmers are struggling with one of the toughest harvests on record following an autumn washout. Potato crops have been hit particularly hard, but other vegetables were affected as well. Our Midlands correspondent Ben Chapman heard from food producers in Spalding in Lincolnshire.
They're supposed to grow underground, not underwater. Pulling our festive favourites from this Lincolnshire field is proving difficult for even the biggest beasts on this farm, unable to separate spud from mud.
So basically the potatoes that are in these rows are rotting.
Successive storms through October have left James Lacey's farm looking more like a quagmire, machinery abandoned in the mud, along with £200,000 worth of potatoes he can't harvest.
As soon as we started harvesting, we had about 150 mil of rain in a week.
And what is the consequence of that?
We're not going to get this crop off the field, basically. We're probably going to lose 5–10% of our crop because it's underwater, rotting, and then we're having problems with crops in store because they don't like this kind of weather and they're not storing very well. So it's just going to have a knock-on effect on availability for the future months.
Across the country, it's estimated as much as 20% of this autumn's potato crop has been flooded, and many of those that make it off the field are only good for animal feed. The rotten potatoes just keep on coming. I'm told that as many as 1 in every 8 or 9 spuds coming off the fields looks like this. The farmers say it's unheard of for this time of year. And it's not just potatoes that are being affected, it's carrots and parsnips and other Christmas veg too. It risks leaving some gaps on festive menus. This restaurant in Surrey has had to adapt to shortages in recent weeks, and growers are warning us to expect some empty supermarket shelves.
Broccoli is worth its weight in gold because it's almost impossible to get. There's something every week that is in short supply. I'm sure everybody will get a Christmas dinner, but it might not be quite what they would have had last year.
Potato farmers say even if it dries up for December, and it's not looking promising, it'll take weeks for the ground to dry out. It's likely to be a Christmas with only some of the trimmings. Ben Chapman, ITV News, Lincolnshire.
Sorry, could I ask if you have an update on the potato supply situation at the moment? Because obviously Scotland's had some pretty rough weather, which a big seed potato and ware producing area. There's about anywhere between 10 and 15% of the crops still in the ground. We're following the dry weather last year. all crop ran out. So actually this year's crop's got to fill another 6 weeks compared to a normal year. So is it something that you've been alerted to?
Well, I think I understand another Member of Parliament raised this concern at deferred oral questions last week, thinking of Scotland. It's not been brought to my attention that we are worried about potato production in England. The UK obviously can only produce that at a certain time of year. I know in my own part of the world, in Suffolk, we've got quite a long season. But I think the issues are where we import some products in from, and that's particularly Egypt, I think. But so far, I think it's all okay.
Okay, thank you. Eric Thomas.
Thank you.
We need to apply pressure to our MPs, so please write to your MP today and let them know that you want to rejoin the single market and the customs union. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below.